Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. So as always, happy to have you with us here, whether live or on the replay. So thank you for your presence. And also, we're happy that Denise Ricard is back on the show. I think now many of you already know her. She's been joining us a couple times every season in the past few years. And as we say, first, I really love the authenticity and the love that she holds, and the way she holds the space for for us, whether we work one-on-one with her, and because I had one session earlier, I think first time we connected, it was a session, and really what I love is like her generosity in the information that she gives, the guidance, and also the clarity that she brings regarding whether it's something related to the now moment or to our divine purpose and how we can align with that even more. And so very happy that she's here with us today. And for those of you who are new to her, she is the Galactic Numerologist, Light Language Sacred Codes Transmitter, Divine Channel, and Intuitive Soul Path Coach. And today's call will be about magnetism, keys to make it work in our life. So she will be sharing about that and also about our soul transformation to higher consciousness and how we can um, like hold higher frequencies in our day-to-day life and how this can really help us to, um, as we say, embody more our truth, our own light, and live in purpose, and also be in service to ourselves and also to others. And she will also be talking and explaining why many times we may, even though we are in our spiritual path for a long time and we do healing and we try many things, but still we sometimes we attract things that we don't want, and how we can switch that to really create a life that is more aligned with our heart desires and our soul path. So yeah, that will be a powerful call. And also she will share a transmission with us. It's a transmission of light language to assist us in shifting our mental mind loops. And also we'll have a Q&A as always. If you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing *9 on your phone. And Zoom, it's reactions, then raise hand. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and also on YouTube. And so with that, Denise, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Monself. So great to be here today. Welcome to everyone who's here live and for everybody who's tuning in at another now moment. There were so many things in all that you said. So yes, and one of the things that you said about we're talking about magnetism and keys to making it work. And one of the things that you said is a key in itself, and that is really being in our own truth, because then we're within ourselves. We're within the connection to our divine self. And I'll talk more about that, but also, yes, and the transmission is about really shifting out of the mental mind loops that are really like, it's like, why I want something, but why is it not coming to me? And so we'll talk about that, and then we're going to shift that energy. And and then also that, there's so much going on the Earth Star right now. There's so much in the states of consciousness, and to let you all know that it is like, this is my path. This is what I do. And so I connect every morning and really all day long. And that's another thing. Like when I'm working with my clients, it's like, it's just to take pieces, like little breaks within your day, to just reconnect or remember what you're really here for. And then it kind of pulls you back into yourself, because there's that saying like we get scattered, our energy gets scattered, which means that like when you're focusing on something in your life, whether it's at work or at home, like a certain thing happens, a relationship, something in a relationship, or um, uh, it's like I'll give the example. I was just watching my neighbor's dogs, and I have cats, so I had no idea like the energy of dogs is totally different from cats. They love to play and run around and it bark, and it's just they're so lovely. And these two dogs were like, wow, I could, they were communicating with me. It was just really fun. So I was watching them for a few days, and then somebody else was taking over when I was done. And it's my neighbor's house across the street, and I couldn't see the car of the new dog sitter that was coming. And so I would check out because I want to make sure the dogs were let out, right? They had to get out to go to the bathroom and all that. And so I found myself like I kept checking, and I didn't see the car of the dog sitter. And then I go sit down and work, and then I could feel like that my mind was in that. And so I had to like that's what is meant by and the dog sitter did come and let the dogs out. And yet like my I kind of put my energy out to that, if that makes sense. So, and then because I didn't have resolution about it, and I was, concerned, very concerned about the dogs and if they have to go out, my energy was there. And so when I sat back down to do my work, it was like, oh, I gotta calm myself back in. And I often use the violet flame if something is feeling like it's out of sorts, or but that's what it means to be like in your energy and calling all of your energy back. And it just naturally happens as we're living our life, that we're engaged in our life. It's what we're meant to do. And then so taking these breaks during the day to kind of come back to center, come back into ourselves, especially if something feels out of sorts, then that just helps calm our system. So that just channeled all right through. And so also because a lot of you know me out there is the Galactic Numerologist. And so today I have to bring in the numbers. And my daughter was born today, my older daughter. So she was born 4/4/1999. So she is 9 in galactic numerology is evolution. And if you take the 4 of April plus the 4 day plus the 1 of the 1999, that's a 9. And then the rest of the 9. So she's a 99999. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 and 6 is 9. She isn't like in the galactic numerology, she's an evolutionist, and she is. So I love that. And so that we're in a portal today. We're in a numerological, like this, the dates in our calendar year, in addition to like all the astrology. There's like the alignments of the planets, and there's a lot coming up. If you've heard about it, we've got the new moon that it's going to be a solar eclipse. And from here in the United States, there's like a track and some other places in the world where we'll be able to actually see it happen, where the moon passes between the earth and the sun, and then it looks like the sun is dark. And so there's energetics to everything. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And I come back to that all the time because that's almost like calling all of our energy back, pulling ourselves back into center, just realizing that everything is energy. And so in galactic numerology, 4 is overflow, and the synchronicity of today's date is that it's 4/4/2024. So the 2 plus the 2 is 4. So you could look at it as 4/4/4/4. So there's 4 fours. There's an overflow of overflow. So when when you bring consciousness to these type of things, and I'll talk more about this, that you're focusing on that. And when you're focusing on that, you can place your intentions or place your desires in that, and then you can take that and see where it goes from there. And again, you're coming from within so that it's connected to your divineness and it's coming through as the higher purpose. So that's my introduction. That stuff, is there anything you want to say or bring in?
Yeah, first, thank you for the introduction. It was really great one. And really to understand how numbers really work with the way we create and attract things. And like talking about creating what we desire, because we hear a lot that we need to keep our vibrations high. But at the same time, when things happen in our life, maybe a challenge or something, we find it difficult to keep it that way. So how do you see this? Is it possible to keep the vibration high? And yeah, how do you see that happening?
Yes, yes. Absolutely. You can always keep your vibration high. I mean, that's really what our goal is, especially as we're here as light workers, as awakened conscious individuals who know that there's changes going on in the earth and that we're entering into a new golden age, like a permanent golden age. So there's no sliding back once we get there. And so one of the things that one of the keys that comes through, so we're weaving in keys here. So as you bring that forth, Mansaf, there's the knowing that as we're incorporating more higher frequencies into our physicality, into our physical body system, our energy bodies, because in addition to being the physical garment that we are, we have energy bodies all around and above. We have our inner presence, our God presence within and above, and then all of that energy that is surrounding us. And so that is what we tap into. That's what we tap into, especially when we're in as we're bringing in higher frequency energies, it really helps to be consciously aware of it, because then what happens is when we bring in more high frequency energy, it's pushing out all the old stuff. It's pushing the denser energies out. And so if we get caught in that, those denser energies, like all of a sudden there's something like it feels like there's a sickness in the body, or some emotions come up around a certain relationship or a job, that when this happens, that it's easy to stay in that. That's like and then to start going into loops, like, why is this happening? And really the why, when we focus on the why is this coming up, what's the higher purpose? So that's a key. So when it feels like something chunky is coming in, a challenge or whatever, there's a reason, there's a lesson, there's an indication that there's growth happening. So it's really if you look at it that way, it just makes it so much easier to go through what we came here to go through, and that's soul growth. So does that answer your question, Mansaf?
Yes, yes, it does. So what I understood is um, like keeping our vibrations high doesn't mean, because sometimes it can be misunderstood as running away from our own traumas or challenges, but it's more about how we approach them and the perspective that we see those challenges. And like you said, these are experiences that we grow through. Um, so did I understand?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. And so as we talk about what we want in our lives, like and I love the word magnetism. And there's different words, and they're also they're universal laws. So that's one of the keys, like magnetism, like bringing in what you want. We're here to talk about these keys that and how to make them work in your life. And one of the keys is that these there are universal laws versus man-made laws. And the universal laws, like when we're in alignment with the universal laws, then everything flows in our life. And then if we're following any human laws first, let's say, before following our and the universal laws are again coming from the divineness within, whether you know what the laws are, and there's many of them. We won't get into the details of that today, but and yet knowing that, like, there's a man-made law, and there are laws that are out in the earth to like keep us safe, right? Like there's a stoplight and the red means stop. And I have to tell you where I live, it's like sometimes in some areas, red lights are like kind of like, I don't know. Some people think that they don't have to stop. But overall, the main thing is that a red light means to stop, and that's so that you're safe, right? If you're driving your car. So there's that. There's certain things that are set up just to keep us in our earthly reality, and so that things flow. And really, when you look at man-made laws and in and you say, well, is that set up so that it's helping everyone? It's like everyone is included in this. It's beneficial for everyone for this law. Like, for example, the red light or the green light to go, the stoplights, stop signs, um, that keeps us safe, right? So something like that's a good way, because there's a lot out there that is created by man, and man-made, there's many man-made laws that are made for the benefit of the few as opposed to the benefit of all. So that's just one way to really connect in, because sometimes sometimes this is what I hear from people, is that they're like, well, the world says this or the world says that. And so it goes back again to going into your inner truth and saying, well, is that set up so that it's for the benefit of everyone, or is it set up for, yes. So that's how I'm going to say to that, because really the key here is that the universal laws are the ones that are the inner laws, the divine laws, the laws of the universe that really cannot ever be, they cannot be, like, no man-made law can override it, let's say. The universal laws are divine laws, so no man-made law can override them. That came out twice. That was interesting. Somebody need to hear that twice. And so just knowing that if you're questioning something in the outside world that seems to be a law, or seems to be a part of the powers of what's going on, like even in the medical system, the educational, whatever it is, just go back into your heart. So that's one of them. And then the other key is that there's the the knowing of, there's the knowing of what you want, the conscious application of universal laws, and knowing what you want, and then having that reflect out in your life. So this is really what we're up to today. And what we're really up to is clearing like all the loops. And yet to see that in order to like, we're always magnetizing things to ourselves. And sometimes it may be something that we don't want, but most of the time it's what we do want. So why is it that something gets in the way of what we do want, and then we attract what we don't want? And that again, that goes back to what we're sending out as a signal. Everything is energy. So, in a lot of this, another key to this magnetism is, what are you feeling? So people write intentions, people write, there's prayers, right? You can send out a prayer, um and there's like kind of there's two ways to look at prayer. So in the old religious structure, it was like you have to say 10 Hail Marys or whatever for your prayer to be answered. And then that's sort of like, well, gosh, if I don't do it right, is my prayer going to be answered? Or if I say 9 instead of 10? And then there's like the new way of looking at it, that when I say 10 Hail Marys, it's because I am taking in that energy and bringing that into my own belief system, that I'm heard and it's connected, because all you need really is one Hail Mary or whatever it is. I'm just using that as an example. So, so really it's about, and then, so that's one thing. And then there's also the feeling. So you may have a prayer like, uh, wanting, like knowing that, let's say a family member is not feeling well, and it's not somebody that you get along with real well. They're having some major health issues, and there's already kind of, the relationship is not in the best, and of course in your heart of hearts you want everyone to feel healthy again. And yet, so you may send out a prayer, and yet there may still be something in there that goes out into the feeling, that is sending the energy out, that there's still some discord between you and the other person. So that kind of gets in the way of that. And so that's really important. Like when, there's, one of the universal laws is the law of attraction, and there's so much written about it, and Rhonda Britton took it and put it in The Secret, and it's like, you put out your desire, and yet you really have to feel it manifest. Like that's a major key, is really seeing it done, really seeing it manifest. And so why doesn't that happen? It's because the human mind steps in the way, and then there's all these things like, well, I don't deserve that, or how's that really going to work out? It didn't work out last time. And that's all I'm going to say, because now I would really like to open it up, to hear, like, what are some of the things that your mental mind says, that tells you over and over. And we're just talking general, because not a specific thing that's going on in your life, but just general, because then that touches also, like, somebody else is going to relate to that. And then, so what is it that, like, you don't feel like you're manifesting, because you keep getting in these loops. So what are some of the things that you tell yourself that are like that are not helping the situation? Let's put it that way. So did you want to open it up, Mansaf?
Yeah. Um, so, so yeah, first, maybe one of the sentences that someone can have is like Tatiana wrote, I can't have what I want. And also, like you mentioned earlier about like the relationship with someone, and when we do a prayer and it doesn't work because we still feel something not right happening. So sometimes we want to feel that what we want to create, but still there is some resistance that comes to the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we're going to do clearing. That's the transmission I'm going to bring through. And yet
Yeah.
let's put this stuff on the table, like just get it out there and whether you're speaking aloud or you're putting anything in the chat, when we go into the transmission, you can just put in also your own intention.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Joshua here, it will take a lot of hard work and time.
Ah. How is it that would take a lot of hard work and time? How is that? Like what do you mean by that? Is that somebody who's live that can unmute?
Yeah, Joshua, you can unmute yourself.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is that to create, say, a career you want or prosperity or get what you're desiring, it one thing I'm ready to let go is that it would take a lot of hard work and time and effort.
Ah, beautiful. Are you Josh or Joshua? What do you go by?
Joshua.
Joshua, thank you so much for bringing that up because that is an outer world belief. That's an outer world belief. And what I mean by that is that we like we're raised with certain constructs, certain belief systems. So there is like you're born and then you run around and play until you go to kindergarten. Then you go to kindergarten, then you go to grade school, and then you go to high school. And then for some, it's a non-negotiable. The parents are like, you're going to college because you got to get a degree. And what's that from? Because if you don't have a degree, you can't do blah, blah, blah. In the world without a degree. And that's just not true. And so, um, gosh, I'm getting all these visions about what you just said. So really, and we're going to work on that. So that's going to be one of the things that's going to be releasing because that is a common thing because it's the programming from the outside world that in order to do this, you have to do all of this to get here. Like to go from here to here, everything, and this could take years. And that's just not true because when we're in alignment and so much of this is energetic. So bear with me, everyone, and just know that as I'm saying this, your higher self is getting it. And so then when you tap in to your higher self, when you go into your heart and you go into the silence and you ask, like, then that opens up for you to understand this. So when you release that human conditioning that because everything's energy and because you're a soul in this body and you're a divine being in this body that you you tap in like you know what your desires are, right? like maybe there's something that a lot of people get caught up in. Well, they've been in a career for years and years, and they went into it because they're, one of their parents said they were good at that, or that was the only way to make money. Like you need to make a lot of money, so you got to go into this profession or whatever. And really, then it just was not working. It was like, God, the 9 to 5 or whatever, the 8 to 12, whatever it is. Like it's just like going, it was like, oh God, I gotta get up. And like it's just not getting up and feeling really excited about the day. So but when you're in alignment with what you really love and what you love to do, then it attracts to you. So often I'll ask people, like if there's that question of, well, I just don't know. I just don't know. Like some people don't know. Some people do. Some people don't know. Some people do know, but they don't know how to get there. And it's like when you were a child, like what really, like what made you laugh? What made you play? What made you have fun? And it could be as simple as like people tell me, well, I danced a lot, but I'm 75 years old. I'm not going to be a dancer at this age of my life. But what's that about? It's about free, it's about moving your body. It's about just like being in the flow. Like that's what is natural to you. It's what's natural and comes natural. So there's even like that's a good path to start following, is to really figure out what it is. And you not, again, not through the mind. Like you could ask your higher mind, ask your heart, like, or maybe you already know, I really want to do this. And if there's any buts, oh, but that won't make any money. Or that, like, if there's any of the buts that are coming through, or the shoulds or should nots, that's another thing. Should get that out. Just get that out of your vocabulary, or the should nots. um, then it's universal law that it comes to you, it attracts to you. So it doesn't have to take 10 years and a um and 3 degrees to get, or I'm talking about the degree, like from a university or whatever, to get to where you want to go. Does that make sense, Joshua? Does that make sense? Or did you have any other questions? That's a good one, because that's a lot of people have that question.
Yeah. Yes, he said yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we take another one, or
Yes. Yeah, I see Tatiana has her hand up, and then a
yes.
caller. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Well, there is another kind of when you get older and you think, oh, I'm not so attractive, and now I'm this, and now I'm that, and do I really want to date? And like it is so difficult to get used to new person, and then all those questions and all those kind of background noise distracts you from what you really want and from your relationship, and if you're trying to build relationship, it doesn't help you, right? So how to kind of still believe that you're good enough, lovable, and all that stuff when you're getting older?
Yes, yes. So I love that. Thank you. And that's a big one. And as a matter of fact, I have yes, I have a program coming up. It's 9 weeks, and it's called Bringing in the One. And it's like a romantic partner, or a home that you want, or a spiritual project. So so that's coming soon. And the reason for that is because there is all this outside noise. Like you just mentioned like 10 reasons why you shouldn't have someone, right? So thank you, because we're also going to put that on the altar. And what was the last thing you said? There was something in the last thing you said. It was like, the last thing that you said was like, what, so why even do it? Okay.
Yeah. Do I even want to have a new
Right.
relationship? Yeah.
Right. And that's definitely one of the things that comes up is that, and that's with anything, that's with starting, whether you're, no matter how many years you've been on the earth, because I don't even like to talk about the word age, because that
No,
again,
I understand.
yeah. Yeah. And so the thing is, there's like that list. That's one of the things that repels, instead of magnetizes, because magnetizing or it magnetizes the wrong thing, right? It repels what you want and magnetizes either the wrong person or what, and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even ask for that, and that person stepped in, and no, they're all wrong or whatever. That's just a relationship. And yet, so there's all these lists, and then there's the final like icing on the cake or the cherry on top. Like, is it worth it all? Right? Is it worth it all? So those are all human, that's human,
Conditioning.
consciousness and conditioning
Conscious.
that has come upon you. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's another big one.
Oh,
Yes. So we've heard relationship, careers. So that's perfect. So thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. And then who is got their hand raised? I see a phone number. I don't see a name. Somebody else has their hand raised.
Sue, can you please unmute yourself? And thank you, Tatiana.
Hello.
Hi there.
I'm on it. My name
Sue.
is Sue. Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Okay, I was listening. Is your first name Denise, correct?
Denise, yes.
Okay, I'm Sue.
Hi,
It's
Sue.
funny when I was hearing what people were saying. I look at it as I'm 70 now, and I'm proud of it, but it's like my new life began at 70. It's like I walked through this door, and it's just miraculous. It's marvelous. And my husband and I one day were talking about things we did in the past. And I said, yeah, okay. I said, but look at us now. I said, if we tried doing some of that stuff from the past now, like whatever we were doing, I said, we'd be falling apart. It's funny how you go through this development of life, and along the way, you forget to stop and smell the roses.
Yes.
Because you're just too involved with whatever's going on in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. One thing I've noticed is once you are retired, as I call it, I said to my husband, how do we find time to work and do stuff? I said, I don't have enough time now because I'm stopping and smelling the roses. And it's funny how the universe kind of just jars it out there to you and says, hey, this is life now. Enjoy it. It's a lot you missed along the way.
Gosh, that's beautiful, Sue. Beautiful.
And you do miss a lot of this. Let's say it was like even a rainbow outside. Well, you're too busy driving to work, worrying about work. You missed the rainbow. And it's the universe showing you, hey, yo, here's some beauty. Now I stop and look at the rainbow and say, wow, that's really beautiful. Look what Mother Nature produced. And it's just, as you, like I said, for me anyway, I thought, how many times did I miss out on stuff because I was too busy with life and doing mundane things?
Thank you for that, Sue. And for all of that, there's so much in that. And one of the things I want to say is that, sense of regret, like we're going to throw that like in the fires, and we're going to transmute that. That's going to be part of what we transmute, because that's also connected to that whole thing about age, and gosh, we only have so many years on the earth, and oh my gosh, if you don't do it, you're not like, so there, it's multifaceted. It's multifaceted. And what you were saying about like, um, uh, so putting that out, like to just transmute that, the regret of shoulda, woulda, coulda. And then what, as you were saying, like, as you were talking about like the rainbow and smelling the flowers, the roses, like that is the kind of stuff, like, for example, I was starting with that 4444 portal today. And that
Exactly.
that's an actual, like, it's an energetic structure that you can call in, right? Just like certain planetary alignments, or your own astrology or numerology, or meteor shower, whatever it is, full moon, what, in or whatever it is, the earth energies. There's things that you can call in, and then when 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 you connect to that kind of thing, like, for example, the rainbow, like rainbows and sunrises and sunsets, like all these different things, like those are energies also, like those are the rays, like those are the colored rays. And there's that's another whole subject, is like the divine rays, like there's rays, and then there's flames, and those are all energetics also, that have different frequencies and waves that are assisting us here on the earth. And it also has to do with our senses, right? Because you're seeing something, and it's tuning into something from a different perspective with our eyes open in the outer world. And then there's like smelling the rose, or like a flower, or like, gosh, this time of year, it's spring where I live, and they're not up yet, but when the tulips come up, some of those tulips are just like, I can't, like, it's just like there's something in it, like the using the physical sense of smell, and then flowers are healing, like nature is healing, and there's energy in the scent of the rose, in the scent of the tulip, in gosh, where I used to live, there was lilacs, they call it. There was like a little town that had tons of lilac trees, and I was in the town 5 miles over from that, and when the wind would blow the right way, it was like, whoa. I mean, it was just so potent. So then that's a sense that we've got all the elements, and it's moving as well. So thank you for all of that, and for this. So that's twofold there, because you brought in like kind of like that whole thing about like, gosh, had we done this or hadn't we done this? And then now that we're doing it, like where we're at. So that's beautiful. Thank you.
And it's different because it's nature, it's Gaia, and it's like now, like, I don't know. It was funny the other night. We had friends over, and we were doing a dice game. I kept coming up with the sevens, and they're laughing. I must have came up like with 4 sevens. Then the fours kept coming up, and I'm sitting there going, "This has to mean something." Well, 7 is like, to me, it's a new beginning. I mean, it's like I haven't felt this. How do I say it? So connected to the universe, Mother Earth, my whole life, like I am now.
Yes.
It's like, what do you have to hit 70 to go, bing, here you are?
Well,
but it was
really, yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, it's like, I go outside now and I go, oh, look. And it's just a beautiful feeling because I can connect with her now, where before I couldn't.
Yes. And that's really an awakening. Like, that's what's happening now. People are awakening and are aware of things that, in the inside world, our inside world, but also our outside world. Like things are different. Your eyes are even seeing things. You're tapping into what your heart is showing you through your eyes. And that's awakening. And more people, because the frequency of the earth keeps rising, and we've got so much help. There's just so much coming from the universe that's helping us, angels and everything. And so ascended masters, cosmic beings. I mean, it's just I did a show a while back on dragons, like the elemental beings. Like we have so much help. And so people are awakening, and some people won't know what to do with that. And so those of us who are awakened and who are, yes, still going through our own soul growth. I mean, that's why we're here on the earth. Yet it's also just being gentle with those, because as people are awakening and they start seeing the truth and what was not truth, there's gonna, people will get angry, like, what, and so we just have to just hold that line of compassion and just keep sending the good energies out. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Sue, for all of that.
Thank you. You are a full soul.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just want to, if I quick, thank Monisset. He has on always special, loving people. I can't wait to get on the phone. Since I'm side challenged, I have to use the phone. But anyway, he, with his guests, including you, have given me such healing energy today. Blessings to it, and thank you very much to both of you. You're both blessed souls. And thank you, Monisset. You don't realize how much you have helped me. You'll never know. But I can't even give the gratitude or words for it. But I've given you the soul feelings for it, that with blessings and great health and prosperity to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very
Sue.
much, too.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
feeling,
Thank
yeah. And Mansaf, like, yeah, Mansaf has, like, I could always see these, like, it's like these gentle waves of light that come from Mansaf. So Mansaf, like, not only having, us, like the guests, and then all of you here, and yet hosting, like being the host of this, and then emanating, and also setting the setting the energy of everything that he does, and having everybody here. So I'm right there with you. Yeah.
You can feel it in both of you today. It's just like divine uniqueness. But I look forward to it. It's like, okay, come on, let's get on. But he, like I said, even today, it's just been a perfect day. If there is such a thing, there is, and I'm just very blessed to even be on this call. And I, of you really touched my heart in many ways, both of you.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. It's a wonderful gift of life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and yes, and all the blessings. And I think Joshua even said something. I can't read all the chats, but I see things popping up that,
thank you, Joshua.
Yeah, thank you for bringing in your beautiful energy and your blessings today as well, Sue.
Thank the people also who are ever on the call. Hey, we're like a family. And we're all connected, and it's just a beautiful family today. And I feel their love, too. I hope they feel mine.
Yes, beautiful.
So thank you for everyone for what you've done to heal me on my journey. It's much, much appreciated. Words can't even describe it.
Wow.
So soul knows, and your soul knows what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So keep up the good work.
All right. And look at you, just spreading the love. I love it. I love it. Thank you. And that's such a great, like, high note to, let's go into the transmission, because really we're entering into, like, from this beautiful energy that you brought through, Sue, and that this beautiful energy of appreciation and love. So let's just go within, just knowing that, like, this is special time. This is special time, and you're here, you've made time for yourself. This is that important time that that you do every day in your life, and in different ways, like being like coming to this show, or doing meditation, or walking out in nature, and smelling the flowers, and so just going within, tapping into your heart. And then we have with us, and Saint Germain, beautiful Saint Germain, and Lady Portia have, like, in the violet flame angels, Archangel Zadkiel, like, we're bringing in the violet flame, and we're putting within the violet flame of flames of transmutation all that's come forth today, and all that you have on your hearts, whether you're here live or you're listening at another moment. This is energy, so it works whenever you're tuning in, and just placing all of, like, even if you maybe you don't have the words for it, you just don't know. It's like, why am I stuck? What are some of those loops? And you might know a few of them, and some of them you might not know, but just know that it is some kind of conditioning, and it's the mind. So just anything that is coming up for you, or that you want to place in the fires of transmutation. And you can even imagine, like, these violet flames engulfing you, and they're flames of energy. So it's the violet ray in action. So the action of transmutation, transfiguration. So just be engulfed in that. And then also connecting, as the violet flames are doing their perfect work, just by calling them in. They're there, and this is a great thing to do during the day, at night, like sitting in the violet flames, just calling them in to just clean things out for you. And then going into your heart flame, because that connection, you're a divine, unique aspect of source, of all that there is. God, Goddess, all that there is. And so you're this unique aspect, and your I am presence is always above you. And then your Christ presence within. And then your heart flame, that flame within your heart, you can imagine it as like a golden glow, like Jesus is often shown with the golden glow from his heart. And yes, there's also like the auric around the head and such, but just imagining in your heart now that flame that also within your heart is just consuming everything that is coming to you now, that you want to release, that's been blocking you or stopping you from receiving what you desire. And then we're bringing in some light language here to assist with this process. Yahana ko osatata. Niom pana kakua. Niasana kukuaikia. And just imagining that flame getting, like, being stoked, like it's getting bigger and bigger in your heart. It's encompassing your chest area. Tiokuhupa sakatakia nakuka sakanaki. And this is your light, and it shines forth from you. It is your divine light, and nothing that is outside of the divine, nothing is within this. That's why it consumes or transmutes whatever is out of alignment. And this is like when we say tuning into your heart, like this is, you're tuning into the very temple, the inner temple of your being, the light of your being, that spark, your divine spark. Yahana ko osa sakatia sonoko kia. Yanda ko osa nakakakia matakose. Hyasana ko kia matakakia nete. And we're continuing to transmit in the silence, yet just taking a few moments to just have your attention. And you may be a visual person, you may just know, and if you want to connect, because your senses, your senses other than your body senses, like your clear senses are still opening, or maybe you haven't gotten in contact with them, you could put your hands on your heart. Just allow this to happen. So we're just going to take a minute or two in the silence. And yet knowing that we're transmitting in the silence as well, and that your heart flame is doing the perfect work, the violet flame. And then have the sense now, and this will continue. And then, and anytime we're in a space together, anytime Denise is in like session or these special summits, like you're within an energy container that helps alchemize all that gets shifted and expanded. So just know that you're within this 24-hour container, energy container, for participating today, for showing up today, and that continues, that work continues. And so just taking some deep breaths in and out, starting to come back, maybe placing your hand on your heart or feeling where you're seated or your feet on the floor. And then as you're coming back, like really feeling the excitement, like finally I let that go. And it's like really trusting and believing that because you did it, you brought it forward, you're here, we transmitted, you chose, that it is transmuted, it is complete, it's brought into wholeness. And so when you step out into your life, and if the same issue comes up, you can say, well, I already cleared that. I already took care of that. That must be something coming up from my mental mind or from my human side, and I'm going to let that go. Just trust and believe, dear ones. And so for this, we complete our transmission now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Denise. Yeah, it was very relaxing, and also like for me, like the feeling toward the end, it was more about just trusting, because sometimes I try to figure out how things will go and try to intervene sometimes. So it's more about just like flowing. So that and also being the witness of what I may be feeling as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, I'd love
yeah.
to hear from
Yeah,
like
everyone, you can share your experience with us. Nicola he wrote, thank you. And in the meantime, I would love if we can talk about the program we are offering, which is about sacred number 8, Keys of Clarity. And so I invite everyone to visit the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, DENISE. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description, and also on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. So yeah, Denise, I would love if you can tell us about this program.
Yeah, thank you. So I invite you all who are here, who are tuning in. There's actually a workshop that I'm doing next Wednesday, April 10th. And that is it's more keys. So it's the keys of clarity. So this year, 2024, is the universal year of 8, because the 2 + 0 + 2 + 4 is 8. And in galactic numerology, that's clarity. And so we're going to have a workshop, and I'm going to do a transmission as well. And we're going to just be honing in on what you would like to have more clarity about in your life. And so we'll bring in, again, more of this kind of energy that helps like set a light on what it is that you're looking at. And there may be some specific questions that some people may have. And so it's really about clarity, because sometimes, like, for example, when we want to magnetize, like we've been focusing on how to do that today, and then what we don't want, right? And or what's coming up as loops, and we did clearing on that. And yet sometimes it's like maybe we're just not as clear on what we want. So that transmission's gonna help to bring more clarity to what you want, because when you're clear about it, and again, that clarity comes from being in connection to your inner self and what your inner self wants, then you can magnetize to what you desire, but you got to be clear about it. So that's what we're going to be working on next week in that workshop. And then also, I have a special offer for a higher self session, and that's a one-on-one. And some people might want to bring their numerology in. There may be something that you want to focus on that has to do with a part of your numerology. Your like I do like a separate, I've got different offerings, and one is like a personal year offering. And so that would be something different, but we could highlight something that has to do with your numerology, or just something that maybe you want to hone in on and get some one-to-one guidance. So I'll be channeling on a one-to-one basis for that. So those are the 2 offerings.
Yeah, thank you so much, Denise. Always grateful to you for sharing your supports and guidance with our audience. And yeah, like you mentioned about the workshop, like about clarity, because like really clarity is really powerful, because it helps us to create that flow and move forward in what we want to create. And yeah, also the one-on-one session, I love that, and all the information that you bring, and the guidance and the healing that you share. It can be really powerful experience as well. So thank you for that. And again, everyone, you can sign up for one of the two packages on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, DENISE. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, the link also on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes. And can we take a question?
Yeah, I see
But
that.
before that, I want to read first. Linda, she wrote, "Thank you, so gentle, flowing, and uplifting. Thank you for sharing this beautiful transmission." Regine, thank you. I love your light language. It's different from mine, but I love it too. Suzanne, thank you. I'm grateful for both of you. And also, I want to read some comments from the audience to Sue. Arietta, she wrote, "Thank you, Sue, for the beautiful and poetical expression. Thank you for allowing us to see the divine beauty in you. Blessings and love." Gloria, thank you, Sue. And Tatiana, I love you too. Linda, we are, love you all. And yeah, again, Tatiana, thank you for your beautiful story. And Joshua, so beautiful. So yeah.
Beautiful.
And thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
And the question from Regine, what's the
Mhm.
meaning of 1 in galactic numerology? I'm a 1 life path number.
Yeah, it's infinite. And Regine, I also want to say, like you mentioned that you're the light language. So light language is like those are streams of energy also. So they like there's different frequencies that were coming through. So whatever frequency you're bringing through, it may sound different from mine. And so it's really just what we're tapped into. Like there's so many different streams of light language that I've spoken that have sounded totally different from other stuff that's come through, and it just depends on what is channeling through at the time, and including like the dragons when they come through are speaking through light language as well, and it's very Harry Potterish. It's very guttural and beautiful flowing. So light language is it's a language beyond the English words, and sometimes we may have the interpretation or the energy interpretation of what that is, and yet at the same time it goes beyond words, and it's just beautiful divine energy. So thanks for bringing that in, Regine. And I saw that your still picture was Egypt. I just came back from Egypt too, and I saw the Ankh, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. Ooh, boy, talk about energies, and then that all becomes a part of who we are and what we bring through, like all of that, everything that we do, everything, like every day I set my energy and I call in very specific energies, like streams, the highest and best, and then the places that I visit and the galactic numerology, like so we're calling in anything for our highest and best, and that helps set, and that brings our frequency up. Like that was one of the things Von Steph started with, like, how do we keep our frequency high? That's how we keep our frequency high. We call in the highest and the best for us, and we allow it to come in. And it will come in anyways, but it's like, how is it going to be? How is it going to come in? Like we're consciously aware of it. There's so much more learning. And then like Joshua said, like, is it going to take so long to get there? Well, when you're conscious of things, of higher energies, and that intuitive knowing that's coming through, then no, you can skip years and years and years of what the earth would say is recommended. So
Beautiful. Question from Linda. Do the dragons have any message for the eclipse coming up?
man, okay, so that's going into that's having me go back in. What I'm hearing them say is to like herald. I'm hearing the word herald. Herald in the frequencies that are available, like today is a portal day. So herald in the frequencies that are available, and that it's also on the main stage, like the news, and there's the news is bringing fear. It's like lacing it with fear. And what the dragons are saying is, and that it is divine and it is good. And when you tune into what is the highest and best for you, then that is what you receive. And to just let everything else go. Okay. Woo. Okay, so that was that. Woof, man, that I can feel that dragon energy. Ooh, that feels so good. I can feel the tail. My dragon is here. Oh, okay. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you,
Regine
Rishi.
Shirat, thank you. Yeah, and thank you for the message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it. It's more about being open to a unique experience that's can be for us. Linda, thank you so much. Yeah, beautiful. And yeah, so Denise, would you like to share maybe any last message before we complete the call today?
Oh, well, always my so much gratitude for you, Mansaf, and for having this this place and this space for us to gather and to learn from and to experience from, and to share. So I just love it. I love being on here. I love everyone who shows up, and the beauty and the energy that you bring. And yeah, I just I'm my closing words are that of gratitude. I'm just so delighted and so grateful, and hope to see some of you in the future, and in the workshop if you need more clarity, or in my upcoming uh, programs or whatever. So you can just go to my website and sign up for my newsletter and all my communications if you want to learn more. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Denise. Always grateful to you. And Linda, she wrote, this call has been such a blessing. Thank you so much. So much love and gratitude. Nicola wrote, thank you for all your help. Much gratitude.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, also for me, like so grateful to you, Denise. Always happy to have you here with us, learn from you, and yeah, co-create with you here and the audience. So thank you so much for everything you shared today, the transmission, the guidance, the support you give to our audience, and yeah, the workshop and one-on-one session you are offering. And yeah, Gloria
Yes.
shares thanks to all, beautiful and divine. And
Thank
yeah, again, so everyone, you can sign up for the workshop, the Sacred Number 8, Keys of Clarity, which is happening on April 10 live, and also there will be a recording after the call, and also the one-on-one session with Denise. And the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Denise, DENISE. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, the link also on YouTube video description, and on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And yeah, so with that, everyone, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Mansaf. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye
Denise.
for now.
Bye.